Okay, thank you. Good evening, all. Once more. So let's start our discussion for today. And as I said, today we'll discuss about the cost estimation. And this is the last topic because after cost estimation, the other is emerging trend, and that's the area you covered under, or you covered during the work best. So it's a theory part, and you can have a further reading on it. So we discussed today about cost estimation. And the cost estimation is defined as a study which attempts to predict between the cost and activity level or cost drivers that cause those costs. So, for instance, if I was to ask you to travel from one town to another, you are likely to come up with an estimate. How much will it cost you? Or you first of all ask which means of transport are you going to use to be able to travel from that particular one area to another. So in that case, once I've given you the means of transport, then you can estimate. For example, if I say we are going to drive from, let's say, Kisumu to Nairobi, and we are going to use a Mercedes Benz to drive all the way, so you can estimate how much fuel the Mercedes Benz is likely to consume. If I give you the same trip, but now we are going to use, let's say, uh, Probox, you are also able to raise, you are able to estimate how much it will cost. Dana Nashpai, have seen you have raised your hand. Is there an issue? Diana Nashpai, Nashpai Diana, is there an issue? If there's none, kindly lower your hand so that we progress with the discussion. So, I say we will be able to estimate and the cost that it will take depending on the means of transport you're going to use. If we have to travel, let's say from Kisumu to Nairobi on flight, you can also as well estimate how much it's likely to cost us. So the reason why we have to estimate is that it assists in determining the net benefit anticipated in a specific activity. For instance, if you were to travel from Kisumu to Nairobi to do an activity that you have made a phone call, then that cost will be too much for that particular activity. So you might as well make a decision not to travel. But if you are the benefit you're going to draw from the travel, let's say if you were to get a certificate, you have to collect it physically from Nairobi, and there's a job opportunity that requires that certificate to be presented, and you are in Kisumu, you might sacrifice to travel, not just to travel to Nairobi, but you'll sacrifice to travel by air so that you are able to reach Nairobi on time, collect that certificate, and be able to apply for that particular opportunity. So that's why we handle the cost estimation. Now, with the handling cost estimation, we have several methods. One, we have a high-low method, and here cost estimation is based on relationship between past cost and the past level of output or activity. So we look at what we have produced in the past and the cost we have incurred in the past. Then from there we'll identify the highest cost and we'll also identify the lowest cost. Then we divide the two to get the average. So in that case, we will have estimated using the high-low method. Then the second method we can also use to estimate the cost. The second one is account inspection, and is using accounting analysis. The accountant examines and classifies each ledger account as verifiable, variable, fixed, or mixed cost. So, as an accountant, you can look at the cost of each activity, then you are able to come up to identify of which a particular cost is likely to be escaled. So in that case, we look at how much we've been spending, then we are able to come up with the how whatever it can cost us. Then the third one is engineering method, and this method is based on detailed study of each operation, where careful specification is made for materials, labor, and equipment necessary to produce a product. I'll give you just for you to be able to understand this engineering method. A number of schools have been banned, and there's a particular school that has estimated the cost of repair, and that cost has widely circulated on social media. That's Kakamega High School. Who can tell us the amount that they have estimated to repair their dormitory? Anybody who can, who have seen circulation from Kakamega High School on the cost estimated? Hello, can you hear me?
I
Yes,
guess
sir, we
it's
can hear you.
yes, we can
Okay.
hear it.
Yeah. Have you seen that letter circulating on social media from Kakamega High School?
Yes.
How much have they estimated that it will cost to repair a dormitory?
I remember I saw each student is supposed to to contribute at least 9,000. I think
Yeah,
it's almost around 18 to 19 million.
yeah. So,
Yeah.
yeah, and that's what I say. For Kakamega High School to have arrived at that 19 million or thereabout, they used engineering method. That they got a government official or a government engineer who went and ascertained and assessed the effect, the damage. Then, after assessing the damage, he recommended the cost, how much it will cost to do the wall work, repair the walls, to repair the roof, to repair the windows and the doors and all that, then how much it will cost to repair beds, bedding, and all that. So in that case, they used the engineering method. So that's an example where we use engineering method that will get an engineer who will come and assess and get a particular cost that it will cost us. The other method that we do use, we refer to it as a visual fit or scatter graph method. Let me try and illustrate here, show if I just a minute, I share my screen. I believe you are able to see whatever I'm sharing. I'll try to draw a scatter diagram, and then you see insert. So on this scatter diagram, we have y-axis and x-axis. Now on the uh, y-axis, it will represent the costs, and this cost will be in shillings. It will be in shillings. Then the x-axis will be units, units produced. So while plotting the the scatter diagram, this the shape that it will take. So along the scatter diagram, we'll have marks, have such marks. So these marks are randomly, they are random. I know you might have covered this in statistics. For those who did social study in high school, you might also have covered such. So now, and then I'll insert now another shape. So whatever this line I'm drawing, I'm trying to where it will touch on the highest number of units. You might have been taken through the line of best of fit. That's what I'm trying to come up with. The line of best of fit. So now, once I've come up with that line as a line of best of fit, then we can estimate cost. Remember here, it's always 0. At the far end, it will be 0. So now we can estimate that if we produce a particular set of units, for example, if we were to produce at this level, imagining this is a production 1, at production 1, we can come up with the price. So at production 1, we can link it here. If we draw a straight line at that particular level of production, that will be, we can estimate cost to be here. So once you have come up with the line of best of it, we can be able to estimate the cost per unit. So this will be cost 1, C1. So as well, as long as on this line, we can still estimate whichever way, can also come up with this. Here. So if that's our level of production, we can call it P2. We can call that P2. So at P2, our level of output, our cost of production, we can draw a straight line. So to have cost 2. So that's how we use the visual fit or scatter graph. So this basically statistics. We can use statistics to estimate our cost of production. Then Another method we use to estimate cost, and that we'll also do it practical, the way we have done the scatter diagram, is a regression analysis. And it involves estimating cost function using past data or dependent and independent variables. So we'll use the past data and using independent and dependent variable. So there's a question I've circulated on your group, WhatsApp group, and specifically I would like to tackle that question number 1. Question number 1. So somebody, I will request anybody to read for us that question number 1. Not really one, 2A. 2A, question 2A. Somebody
Let me
read for us
read.
question 2. Yes, go
Let
ahead.
me read.
Yes.
A hospital records show that the cost of carrying health checks in the last 5 accounting periods is as follows. So we have 3 columns. We have the column of period, number of patients seen, total cost. The first period we had 650 patients at a rate of 17,125. Period 2, 940 patients at 17,800. Then we have period 3, number of patients seen 1,260 at a cost of 18,650. Period 4, 990 patients seen 17,980. Then we have period 5, number of patients seen 1,150. Total 18,360. Required, estimate the cost of carrying out health checks on 850 patients using regression model.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for that. So we want to use regression model to estimate the cost of treating 850. Now, for us to use a regression model, the formula we use y is equals a plus bx. I believe this you are taught in statistics. Y is equals a plus bx. Then now from that particular equation, we have the new formula for a and formula for b. Formula for a and formula for b. So formula for a, for us to calculate a is usually equals to n summation of, a minute, I get symbols for summation. I can't write and I can't get to the summation. I'll use E to represent summation. So N, I'm using E as a sign of summation. XY minus summation X, sorry, in bracket, summation X summation Y. Summation X, summation Y. The whole thing we divide it by n summation x squared n summation x, sorry, n summation x squared minus summation x bracket summation x, then we square it. This word is technical. Square it. That's the formula for A, and the formula this was formula for B. Then A is equals summation y minus B summation x, B summation x, B summation x, and then we divide by n. We divide this by n. So that's the formulas that you want to use, and those are the formulas for regression that you want to use. So for us to be able to compute that, where we have been given period will always be on the x-axis. Period is usually on the x-axis. Then the number of clients or patients will be on the y-axis. So I've inserted here a table that we want to use for estimation for x and y. So I've said this will x will be period will be x, and for that matter, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Just insert another 2. So it's 5. Then we'll have total which is the summation. Then we have the x, okay, y axis will be the number of patients. So for year 1 it was 650, for year 2 it was 940, then 1260, then we'll have a column for x squared. So let's fill in the information for xy. So to get xy, we multiply x times y. So like for year 1, it will be 1 times 650, and I've given you the answer will be 650. For year 2, somebody to give us the answer, it will be 2 times 940. 2 times 940. Somebody to give us the answer.
1880.
1880. Thank you. Year 3, it will be 3 times 1260.
3780.
18 times 1280. 3780. Thank you. Year 4, it will be 4 times 990. 4 times 990.
3960.
3960. Thank you. The last one is 5 times 1150.
5750.
5750.
5750. Thank you. So now the next item we want to get is x squared. So x squared, that means then the value under x we multiply by itself. Like year 1 will have 1 times 1, which will be 1. So somebody together for year 2.
4.
Year 2 it will be 2 times 2. What? 4. Thank you. Year 3 it will be 3 times 3.
9.
9. Thank you. Year 4 it will be 4 times 4. 4 times 4.
16.
16. Then the last one, it will be 5 times 5.
25.
25. Thank you. So now, the next activity we want to undertake is to get the summation now, the totals. Let's start with the x. So add all the values under x. Add all the values under x.
15.
15. Thank you. X is 15. Somebody to add for y.
$49.90.
49.90. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. 49.90. Somebody to add for us summation of x, y.
1620. 16,020.
1620. 16,020. Somebody to add for us x squared. Somebody to add x squared.
55.
55. Thank you. 55. So we have already gotten all the summations. So now we want to substitute in our equations. And for these equations, because for equation of A, there's an element of B, that means we'll start off with the B alone. We start with the B. We'll start with the B. So B is n summation. So we'll substitute n. N is the number of years. So n was 5. The number of years, which was 5. So 5, then it's in a bracket or multiplication. So we'll open the bracket. Summation of xy. Summation of xy. So summation of xy will draw 16,020. 16,020. Then we close this bracket minus summation x times summation y. Summation x times summation y. Summation x was 15. 15 will multiply by summation y, which was 49.90. Then the whole thing will divide it by summation n which is 5 times summation of x squared, which is 55. 5 minus summation of x squared. So that means I'll open the bracket and write summation of x, which was 15, then close the bracket and put there a square sign 2. So now you can put those values in your calculator and get the figure. For the purpose of me, so that you are able to follow, let's simplify it so that you are able to follow. Somebody to get us the value of 5 times 1620.
8,100.
80,100. Thank you. So
8,000.
80,000.
No,
8,000 or 80?
8,100.
80. It should be 80,000.
8,100. Like that. Now we subtract somebody to get us 15 times 4990. Somebody to get us 15 times 4990.
74,850.
850.
74,850. Then this figure we divide it by somebody to get us 5 times 55. 5 times 55.
275.
275. Thank you. Another color. So I said it's 275. Sorry. 275. This 275 is minus somebody to get us 15 squared. 15 squared.
225.
225. So let's start with the numerator. 80, 100 minus 74, 850.
5250.
It's 5250. Then this 5250 we divide it by somebody to get us 225 minus 275 minus 225.
50.
50. Then now do 5250 times divided by 50.
105.
105. Thank you. 105. So that 105 is the value of B. Is the value of B. So B is equal to 105. So let's look for value for A, then we'll be able to substitute. So for A, let me just highlight the formula. So A is equals summation of Y. So summation of Y is 4950, 4990. That's 4990 minus B summation of X. So B is 105. 105 then times summation of X. Summation of X was 15. So that's times 15. 105 times 15. So after that, we divide by N. N was 5. We divide by 5. So somebody to get us 105 times 15. 105 times 15, so that will be 4990.
1575.
4990 minus, you said 1575. Then the answer will divide it by 5. So now somebody to get us 4990 minus 1575. 4990 minus 1575.
3,415.
3,415. 415.
450.
So now this value, we divide it by 5. Sorry, by 5. So divide it by 5 so that we get A.
683.
683. Thank you. So now we have A, we have B. So now we go back to our main formula. Y is equals A plus BX. So Y is equals A plus BX. So let's substitute A. Somebody to remind us the value of A?
683.
683. Thank you. Plus B. Somebody to remind us the value of B?
105.
105.
105. Thank you. Then times X. This X is unknown. So the X, because it's unknown, that's the value that we are going to use, which is from the question. So how many patients are we estimating?
850.
How many? 850. Thank you. 850. So now somebody to get us, we'll have 683 plus somebody to get us 105 times 850. 105 times 850.
89, 250.
89, 250.
250.
Yes. And then now add 89, 250 plus 683.
89, 933.
89, 933. So now that becomes the cost for treating 850 patients. So that's how we estimate cost using the regression model. So any question at that particular moment?
Sorry, Mwalim, I was lost at 850 at 683 plus 105 because we had X. We had that formula of finding X, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Which is Y is equal to A plus BX.
Yeah.
So A is 683 plus
Yeah.
B, which was
Yeah.
105,
Yeah.
and then X. So how did we apply 850 there?
So from the
Teacher.
question, how many patients are we estimating the cost to treat them?
850.
850, and that's what we have done.
Okay, thank you.
You are now okay? So any other person with a concern? Hello, Dalmasia, you had raised your hand.
I wanted to answer Duncan because hiyo kitu tulikuwa tumeifanya kwa statistics. So I wanted to explain to him if he remembers the way teacher taught us. Yes, but it's okay, umemsaidia. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So any other concern or question? If there's none, then we call it a day. We have successfully completed the curriculum. So now what remains is a revision, which you success in your forthcoming exam. So just prepare adequately, do appropriate revision, and we'll meet probably next semester if I'll have a unit to teach you. Yeah. So I wish you a wonderful evening and also wish you success in your forthcoming examinations.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
Yeah, thank you, Mwalimu, for being with us all this through, and thank you for wishing us success. Stay blessed.
Amen.
Mwalimu,
Yes.
tukikupigia simu ushike, saa ingine hakushikangi. Sasa hii wakati ya revision
Ah,
mi personal unaniambia
nikiwa class
eh,
nikiwa class siwezi shika simu. Ukipiga mara mingi itakwambia send SMS. So ukituma SMS nikitoka nitajaribu kutafuta.
okay, thank you. But like
Sawa.
when I have something that
Yeah.
I'm stuck, maybe a calculation, can I do it? Then I WhatsApp, maybe you can correct me where I've gone wrong.
No problem.
That's okay, thank you.
I will assist where possible. Yeah. Welcome. Any other